Hi everybody, we're at video 10. So it's been a few days since my last video. Lots happened. Say some challenges have arisen, and uh, just want to touch base on that. I guess I had a lot of good things happen. Um, it was sadly 2 weeks, barely after losing Nathan, I lost another friend to overdose, self-administered fentanyl. Um, he did not do needles or fentanyl, refused to, so I think he just had enough and decided to take his own life. He had a lot of self-hatred for being gay, and there's a lot going on mentally, but he also was very far into addiction, and you know, it's dark. It's very dark. I feel like I'm waiting to just hear of every friend's passing. Everyone I used to hang out with that uses one by one. So the reality of it is that's exactly what's going to happen. I chose to live because I wanted to live, and addiction isn't living. I seen too many of my friends pass away from it, and I got too dangerously close. I played Russian roulette with my life for quite a few years. It just kept loading bullets in that gun. It was only a matter of time. I feel more than ever I am in the right place at the right time. I sobered up exactly when I needed to, because if I didn't do that when I did, I would have surely not been here right now. Losing those people, if I was using, would have created a tailspin and probably got me to use, and past the point I could handle it. When I sobered up, I was barely clinging on to life, and it was hard to bounce back from that, but it happens. This, like NA teaches us, it always ends in one of three ways: prison, institution, death. That is a guarantee of addiction, that you're not going to have a happy life and be an addict. It's just people can balance it out, but it's only a matter of time. You condition yourself to uh, rely on whatever substance is your choice of poison to make yourself feel better, because that's what it is. It's synthetic happiness, releasing dopamine. You can get it from anything, but if you're relying on that to cover up feelings, mask feelings, deal with your problems and never really dealing with them, eventually it stops working. It doesn't work anymore, and then you're really screwed. Jeffrey, we were close at one point. He was actually my dealer, but he was also my friend. And when I said I wanted to get sober, he refused to sell to me anymore. And that was the end of our friendship. He kept his distance because he didn't want to be the one responsible for me continuing on when I said I didn't want to. I respected him very much for that. Um, Even though I begged him at times, he still wouldn't. But he'd be selling for days, up for days, on drugs for days. It's only a matter of time, really. Now more than ever, the gravity of the lifestyle I lived is sinking in. The damage I've done to other people, what I put my loved ones through watching me, totally self-destruct, fill myself with poison, lose myself completely, them just waiting to get a phone call or a message that I'm done, I didn't make it. I feel so selfish. I feel terrible about doing that to the people I care about the most. They had to sit back and watch. And even though these friends aren't in my life anymore, I have to sit from a distance and watch them go down one by one. And it still fucking hurts. And I know now more than ever how important my life is. I worked really hard to get back here. I was so frivolous with the way I treated it. It's just like, if I die, whatever, it doesn't matter. That was so selfish and wrong of me. I have a beautiful life with beautiful people in it, and I could have lost everything by some freaking miracle. And someone's watching over me. I survived suicide 3 times, suicide attempts, lethal drug doses that should have killed me. So much. I shouldn't be here. I feel I've done so much more than a lot of addicts, and I'm still here. Speaks volumes that I have a purpose. I have a great purpose to be here, to do something wonderful, and that is make me cherish my life and makes me very, I don't want to say joyful because I feel like it's disrespectful, but it does. I am here. I got another chance. Everything's turning around. I can see it for both sides. I'm not mad at God. I'm not mad at anybody but myself. I feel like I should feel like I've done things differently, but I make that question: would I still be here now? Would I be this person in front of you now saying these things? The odds are probably not. I try not to focus on these negative thoughts, negative things, for so much good has happened. I feel like I finally been part of a community. The church I've been going to has welcomed me with open arms. They were there for me when I found out about Jeffrey, and because I was at church volunteering for an event, and then I signed up for events committee and choir, and I'm trying to fill my life with positive, great things, to meet wonderful people and have a new life, rebuild, and have nothing but love and joy in that life. And everything is going great in that aspect. I'm handling this way better than I expected, especially just after losing Nathan. Maybe my state of mind, my way of thinking is just completely altered now, with understanding why, understanding that I needed to possibly go through this to not only strengthen myself, but the gravity of what I was doing is really hitting me. How selfishness, how addiction is really just complete selfishness. You hurt the ones around you, and you say it's because you're hurting, but you keep doing it, and you don't think about the lives you're changing in a negative way, and the people that have to suffer and watch and suffer and just watch somebody they love self-destruct. It's horrible. We think of our addictions as something that we can control when in fact it just completely controls us. We find ourselves powerless eventually, and that's the only way when you realize that you can begin to heal and change. And a lot of us don't make it there. A lot of us think we have all the time, one more use after my birthday, after this party. The truth is, no, a lot of people die for that one last time, because of one last time. I won't refuse to relapse because I don't want that one more time to be my last time. I've already got so many chances and I didn't take them. I begged for this last chance. I prayed for it over and over again, and I got what I prayed for. So this means more to me than anything ever has in my entire time of living. This is live or die. This is every choice I make right now dictates the rest of my life, and if I'm gonna be there to live it. It's never been so intensely important to keep focused on living, because now that I'm finally starting to live again, I don't want that taken away. A lot of addicts have said their lives, they feel like it began once they sobered up. I get that. I totally get it now. I didn't really understand that when I heard it at the time, but it felt like lately it's just beginning. Everything's just beginning. It's important to me now because I know life can get better. It is getting better. I know my point of view was wrong. I know a lot of what I felt was from the drugs, and the drugs just amplify those negative thoughts and feelings. The addiction wants to consume you, keep you dark and alone, away from anything positive, keep you away from light. And we think we're worthless, so of course we'd rather be in that and then be in the light around other people. It's hard to get back, but you can. Integrating back into society, being part of community, and having people generally care about me again, it's more addictive than the drugs ever were. It feels so much better than any drug I've ever did, any euphoria, fake high. This feels so much better, and I'm addicted to that now, and I want to keep doing that. Life is getting hard for everybody. Now more than ever, we need to reevaluate and really focus on where we've gone, how we got there, where we want to go, really, and redirect ourselves. Because a lot of us lost our past a long time ago. Life has a tendency to throw us off and throw curveballs at us, keep us guessing. A lot of us let it defeat us. But using that as an opportunity to be stronger is what we really need to do, I feel. Sometimes life just sucks beyond the telling of it. My favorite line from Buffy is, "The hardest thing in this world is to live in it." And it's so true. Maybe we just don't try hard enough sometimes. I don't know. I feel like I've never put in 100% into my life up until now, to be honest. I made a lot of bad decisions. I been just so selfish over these last few years, only worrying about myself, being in survival mode, just can't break out of it. Just had thought I had to do anything it takes to survive. Though I never tried to hurt anybody or lie, I found ways around lying by the way I worded my words and how I said it. It's just still misconception or misdirection and lie, just a fancy way of lying, really. Anything to get what I needed to survive so I could keep going. But survive for what? I was just surviving to keep doing drugs, I guess. But then that did eventually lead me here. I found my path again, and I feel whole. Oh, a lot of people have actually, a few people have reached out to me since I made these videos. I had a couple friends say, they're inspired by me and say that I have a lot of strength and they wish they had my strength. And I never always had this strength. This strength took a long time to rebuild, but it feels amazing to know that this can touch somebody's heart. This can make them reevaluate their lives and maybe awaken something in them to want to be better, do better. That touches my heart more than you could ever know. And this is exactly what I meant by together we're strong. Knowing somebody knowing somebody you love is going through this and they're being open about it creates that channel for reaching out, and as long as you want it bad enough, you'll get there. I promise that. I always said I'd rather go down swinging than laying back and taking it. So that's where we got to get to, and know that you're worth it. You are worth it. There's a reason you've survived this long. You just have to realize that you have to let it all come crumbling down, and you have to then rebuild. Most of us skid across our rock bottom for a little bit. I skidded across mine for almost a good year and just kind of bouncing like a skipping rock. And but rebuilding is actually amazing. Rebuilding is you can be exactly who you want to be. You can get rid of those character defects that you're not happy with and polish yourself, fine tune yourself, change things, do new things, and you can let go of all that persona before, because who you were before was typically, for most of us, our addiction was such a strong part of that. And once you take that away, we get stuck in this like not knowing of self, of like, who am I without it? But that's the perfect time to realize that you can rebuild yourself, and you can not worry about who you were. You can focus on who you want to be, and that's a great feeling. All I can say is keep reaching out. Reach out to as many people as possible. You'll find out who your real friends are, because your real friends will be there and they'll talk to you and they'll make you feel better. I did that immediately again, like they told us to in NA. When something happens, I didn't think about using, but I know I needed that support immediately. I needed to talk about it, and reaching out to everybody who answered their phone. And I felt, by the time I went to bed, I felt fine. I felt strong. I felt loved. I felt compassion. So it works. And saying NA, it works. You're worth it, so work it. I like that. Never give up. Never surrender. That's all for today.